All right, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. It is Yaakazaki Yahoo coming right back at you again. This time we have another video review. This video seems very interesting. So we're going to get to that here just momentarily. I'm joined this evening by my most esteemed Akinanaya. Shabbat Shalom, Aki.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, Aki. Shabbat Shalom, Yasharal. Kwam Yasharala.
Yes, indeed. Kwam, rise Yisrael, rise Yashar. Hallelujah. Praises to the Abba. Like I said, we're back. Another video review real quick. We were going to get into the book of Devarim, but for time's sake, we're going to go ahead and jump into this video review. This is the story of Marcus Garvey, which comes to us by Black Discoveries, a new channel that not a new channel, but a channel we found with a significant following 255,000 subscribers. So I hope they don't mind us viewing their content here because it looks like some good information. And we're going to get to it and get through it. Here we go.
It is crucial to revisit the life and philosophy of Marcus Garvey. His teachings and actions remain as relevant as ever, serving as a beacon of hope and empowerment for those who continue to fight for Black rights and equality. In this video, we will embark on a journey to explore the life, philosophy, and profound impact of Marcus Garvey on the Pan-African movement and the ongoing battle for the rights and recognition of Black individuals worldwide. From his early life in Jamaica to his leadership in the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, from his powerful speeches to his enduring influence on Black culture, we will uncover the multifaceted facets of this remarkable figure's life and his tireless dedication to the cause of Black empowerment. Early life and influences. Marcus Garvey's story begins on the picturesque island of Jamaica in the late 19th century. Born on August 17, 1887, in the rural town of St. Ann's Bay, he came into a world still deeply affected by the legacy of slavery. Growing up in this post-colonial society, Garvey was exposed to the harsh realities of racial discrimination and inequality from a young age. Garvey's experiences in Jamaica laid the foundation for his unwavering commitment to the fight for Black rights. The poverty and oppression he witnessed fueled his determination to bring about change. He understood that for Black people to secure their rights, they needed a strong and unified movement, an idea that would later become central to his philosophy. The birth of Pan-Africanism. As Garvey matured and began to explore the world beyond Jamaica, he became increasingly aware of the global dimensions of racial injustice. In the early 20th century, Pan-Africanism, the belief in the unity of people of African descent worldwide, was gaining momentum. Garvey's role in promoting Pan-Africanism cannot be overstated. He believed that people of African descent had a shared history, culture, and destiny, and that unity was the key to their empowerment. His famous statement, "God knew what he was doing when he made me Black," encapsulated this belief, emphasizing the inherent worth and strength of being Black. The Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA. In 1914, Marcus Garvey founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, in Jamaica, a pivotal moment in his journey. The UNIA aimed to unite Black people globally and uplift them socially, economically, and politically. Garvey's vision was to create a strong, self-reliant Black community that would challenge the prevailing racism and discrimination of the time. The UNIA's core principles were Black unity and empowerment. It was the largest Black organization of its kind, with chapters not only in the United States, but also in countries throughout the African diaspora. Garvey's charismatic leadership and compelling message drew thousands of members. Advocating for Black rights. Garvey's views on the importance of Black people fighting for their rights were unambiguous. He understood that equality would not be given, but had to be claimed through struggle. In the United States, he spoke out against the deeply entrenched Jim Crow laws and racial discrimination that oppressed Black Americans. Garvey's leadership of the UNIA played a pivotal role in the civil rights movement. He was a forerunner, laying the groundwork for later civil rights activists who would pick up the torch. His commitment to Black empowerment through political and economic means set a powerful example. Marcus Garvey's admiration for the Ku Klux Klan. Garvey made positive statements about the KKK on occasions. Garvey's admiration for the KKK was likely motivated by his belief that white supremacist groups were more honest about their hostility towards black people than other white groups who professed tolerance but were, in his view, hypocritical. He saw the KKK's open hatred as a more genuine reflection of white attitudes than the professed tolerance of other white groups. Garvey's overall message was one of black empowerment and self-reliance. He believed that black people should not rely on white society for their liberation, but should instead work together to create their own independent societies. Garvey's complex relationship with the KKK highlights the challenges that black activists have faced in their pursuit of equality. While Garvey was willing to acknowledge the reality of white supremacy, he never wavered in his belief that black people could overcome oppression and achieve self-determination. Garvey's admiration for the KKK should not be seen as an endorsement of their violence and hatred. Rather, it should be understood as a reflection of his frustration with the hypocrisy of white society and his determination to find allies, even unlikely ones, in the struggle for black liberation. The Black Star Line. Garvey's ambitions extended far beyond the realm of civil rights. He envisioned economic self-sufficiency as a means to empower black people. In pursuit of this goal, he founded the Black Star Line, a shipping company aimed at facilitating trade between black communities around the world. The Black Star Line, 1919-1922, was a shipping line incorporated by Marcus Garvey, the organizer of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, and other members of the UNIA. The shipping line was created to facilitate the transportation of goods and eventually African Americans throughout the African global economy. It derived its name from the White Star Line, a line whose success Garvey felt he could duplicate. The Black Star Line became a key part of Garvey's contribution to the Back to Africa movement, but was mostly unsuccessful, partially due to infiltration by federal agents. The Black Star Line and its successor, the Black Cross Navigation and Trading Company, operated between 1919 and 1922. It stands today as a major symbol for Garvey followers and Pan-Africanists. The Black Star Line was incorporated as a Delaware corporation on June 27, 1919. It had a maximum capitalization of $500,000, and shares were sold at UNIA conventions at $5 each. The first directors of the Black Star Line were Marcus Garvey, Edgar M. Gray, Richard E. Warner, George Tobias, Jeremiah Certain, Henrietta Vinton Davis, and Janie Jenkins. The officers of the corporation were President Marcus Garvey, First Vice President Jeremiah Certain, Second Vice President Henrietta Vinton Davis, Treasurer George Tobias, Secretary Richard E. Warner, Assistant Secretary Edgar M. Gray, and Assistant Treasurer Janie Jenkins. 6 months after incorporation, the board of directors voted to increase the Black Star Line market capitalization to $10 million, equivalent to $175 million in 2023. The Black Star Line surprised critics when only 3 months after being incorporated, the first of 4 ships, the SS Yarmouth, was purchased with the intention of it being rechristened the SS Frederick Douglass. The Yarmouth was in poor condition when purchased by the Black Star Line. Once reconditioned, the Yarmouth proceeded to sail for 3 years between the US and the West Indies as the first Black Star Line ship with an all-black crew and a black captain. However, the Yarmouth, like other ships purchased by the Black Star Line, was in poor condition and faced challenges. The Black Star Line faced significant challenges, including the sinking of one of its ships, the SS Shadyside, which sailed the cruise to nowhere on the Hudson River one summer and sank the next fall due to a leak. Another ship, the steam yacht Kanawha, which was renamed the SS Antonio Maceo by the Black Star Line, experienced a boiler explosion, resulting in a fatality. Besides oversold and poorly conditioned ships, the Black Star Line was beset by mismanagement and infiltration by agents of J. Edgar Hoover's Bureau of Investigation, including the first black agent hired by the Bureau, James Wormley Jones, who became an intimate of Garvey, and other agents who sabotaged it by damaging the engines and other means. Legal troubles and Marcus Garvey's pardon. In 1919, the United States government, represented by J. Edgar Hoover and the Bureau of Investigation, BOI, indicted Marcus Garvey and 3 other executives of the Universal Negro Improvement Association for mail fraud. The charges stemmed from Garvey's use of a picture of a ship, the SS Black Star, in the UNIA's promotional materials, despite the fact that the organization did not actually own the ship at the time. Garvey and the other defendants maintained that they had not intended to deceive anyone and that the ship was part of their plans to establish a shipping line for black people. However, the prosecution argued that the use of the picture was a fraudulent attempt to raise money from investors. In 1923, Garvey was convicted of mail fraud and sentenced to 5 years in prison. He served 3 years of his sentence before President Calvin Coolidge commuted his sentence in 1927. Garvey was then deported back to Jamaica. The conviction of Marcus Garvey for mail fraud remains a controversial topic. Some historians argue that he was wrongfully prosecuted by the government, which was motivated by its desire to suppress the Black Power movement. Others maintain that Garvey's actions were indeed fraudulent and that he was justly convicted. Regardless of the interpretation of the evidence, the conviction of Marcus Garvey had a significant impact on his life and career. It led to his imprisonment, deportation, and the decline of the UNIA. Garvey's legacy continues to be debated, but he is still remembered as a prominent figure in the Black Power movement and a champion of Pan-Africanism. The Black Star Line ceased sailing in February 1922, and the company's losses were estimated to be between $630,000 and $1.25 million. Marcus Garvey's speeches and writings.
It is for me to inform you that the Universal Negro Improvement Association is an organization that seeks to unite into one solid body the 400 million Negroes of the world, to link up the 15 million Negroes of the United States of America with the 20 million Negroes of the West Indies, the 40 million Negroes of South and Central America, with the 280 million Negroes of Africa, for the purpose of bettering our industrial, commercial, educational, social, and political conditions. As you are aware, the world in which we live today is divided into separate race groups and distinct nationalities. Each race and each nationality is endeavoring to work out its own destiny to the exclusion of other races and other nationalities. We hear the cry of England for the Englishman, of France for the Frenchman, of Germany for the German, of Ireland for the Irish, of Palestine for the Jew, of Japan for the Japanese, of China for the Chinese. We of the Universal Negro Improvement Association are raising the cry of Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. There are 400 million Africans in the world who have Negro blood coursing through their veins. And we believe that the time has come to unite these 400 million people for the one common purpose of bettering their conditions. We want to unite the Negro race in this country. We want every Negro to work for one common object, that of building a nation of his own on the great continent of Africa. That all Negroes all over the world are working for the establishment of a government in Africa means that it will be realized in another few years. We want the moral and financial support of every Negro to make the dream a possibility. Already, this organization has established itself in Nigeria, West Africa, and is endeavoring to do all possible to develop that Negro country to become a great industrial and commercial commonwealth. Pioneers have been sent by this organization to Nigeria, and they are now laying the foundations upon which the 400 million Negroes of the world will build. If you believe that the Negro has a soul, if you believe that the Negro is a man, if you believe that Negro was endowed with the senses commonly given to other men by the Creator, then you must acknowledge that what other men have done, Negroes can do. We want to build up cities, nations, government, injustice of our own in Africa, so that we'll be able to have a chance to rise from the lowest to the highest positions in the African Commonwealth.
One of Marcus Garvey's most powerful tools in advancing his cause was his ability to articulate a vision for Black empowerment. His speeches and writings were inspirational and motivational. In his famous "Look for Me in the Whirlwind" speech, he urged Black people to strive for greatness and self-sufficiency. Analyzing key elements of his rhetoric reveals the enduring influence of his words. His call for self-reliance, pride, and unity remains a source of inspiration for Black activists today. Black culture and identity. Marcus Garvey's influence was not confined to the realms of politics and activism alone. He played a pivotal role in shaping Black culture and identity, leaving an indelible mark on the way Black individuals perceive themselves and their heritage. Garvey encouraged Black people to wholeheartedly embrace and celebrate their African roots. He believed that this connection to their ancestral heritage was a source of strength and a wellspring of pride. By rekindling the flame of African identity, he aimed to instill a sense of self-worth and empowerment among Black communities. This emphasis on embracing one's African heritage resonates strongly in the celebration of Black History Month, an annual observance dedicated to honoring the achievements, history, and culture of Black individuals. The celebration of Black History Month serves as a testament to the enduring legacy of Marcus Garvey's message. Furthermore, the rise of Afrocentrism, a cultural and intellectual movement that centers on African and African diaspora cultures, can be traced back to Garvey's teachings. Afrocentrism emphasizes the significance of African culture, traditions, and contributions to the world. It encourages Black people to reclaim their narrative and celebrate the richness of their heritage. In addition to Black History Month and Afrocentrism, Garvey's influence reverberates in various facets of contemporary culture, including music, art, and fashion. Artists, designers, and musicians continue to draw inspiration from African aesthetics, themes, and history, infusing their creations with a profound sense of African identity. Personal life. And let us not forget the personal side of Marcus Garvey. He had two children, Marcus Mosiah Garvey III, born on September 17, 1930, and Julius Winston Garvey, born on September 17, 1933. Marcus Garvey was married twice. He married his first wife, Amy Ashwood, on December 25, 1919. Ashwood was herself a political activist, working for women's rights as well as holding ideologies of Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is a political ideology that seeks to strengthen the bonds between Africans and those of African descent living around the world. She helped her husband to found the United Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, which is often simply referred to as UNIA, and was one of the directors of Garvey's Black Star Line shipping and passenger ship company. The two divorced in 1922. No children were born during this marriage. Garvey's second wife was Amy Euphemia Jacques. The two married in 1922. Jacques was Garvey's Secretary General. The couple had two sons, Marcus Mosiah in 1930 and Julius Winston in 1933. Jacques and Garvey remained married until his death in 1940. Death. Marcus Garvey died on November 10, 1940, in London, England, at the age of 52. The cause of his death was chronic nephritis, a serious inflammation of the kidneys. Garvey's health had been declining for several years prior to his death. He had suffered from a number of ailments, including diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart problems. In 1938, he was diagnosed with chronic nephritis, a condition that eventually led to his death. Despite his deteriorating health, Garvey continued to work tirelessly until the very end of his life. He was a prolific writer and speaker, and he traveled extensively to promote his message of Black nationalism and Pan-Africanism. He also continued to lead the UNIA, the organization he had founded in 1914. Garvey's death was a major loss for the Black Power movement and for the African diaspora. He was a charismatic and visionary leader who inspired millions of people around the world. Legacy. Marcus Garvey, the Jamaican-born orator, activist, and visionary, stands as a towering figure in the history of Pan-Africanism and Black nationalism. Through his fervent advocacy for racial pride, self-reliance, and African unity, he inspired millions of marginalized people worldwide to challenge the oppressive systems of their time. Garvey's vision of a united Africa, free from colonial rule and racial subordination, resonated deeply with the oppressed masses. His powerful speeches, infused with passion and conviction, ignited a flame of hope and resilience in the hearts of those who had long been denied their rightful place in society. Despite facing relentless opposition and persecution, Garvey never wavered in his commitment to his ideals. His unwavering belief in the power of collective action and his unwavering dedication to the upliftment of Black people continue to inspire generations. Garvey's legacy extends far beyond his time and place. His teachings have been embraced by countless activists, musicians, and scholars, shaping the trajectory of Black liberation movements and shaping the discourse on racial justice. His call for unity, self-reliance, and cultural affirmation remains as relevant today as it was during his lifetime. Marcus Garvey's legacy is a testament to the transformative power of one individual's vision and the enduring impact of the struggle for racial equality. His unwavering belief in the power of Black people to shape their own destiny continues to inspire and empower generations to come. As we conclude this video, we encourage you to continue exploring the rich history of Black empowerment and civil rights. Marcus Garvey's life is just one chapter in this ongoing struggle, and by understanding and learning from the past, we can better shape a more equitable future for all. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. We'll see you in the next video.
All right, so that's a little bit of information about Brother Marcus Garvey. So one thing I definitely want to point out is this is not a Pan-African channel or a Pan-African society movement or anything of that nature. We are Israelites. And so, yeah, we don't deal with that. Now, one thing I do want you to understand as well is being a person of color, dark-skinned person, does not mean that we are what's known commonly today as Africans. We are not Africans. So if you are not familiar with the understanding of who we are the children of Israel, who are not Africans, who are Shemitic people, and we operate under the guise of the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, who we are meant to serve diligently and without ceasing. So, yeah, I wanted to hit on that point, considering that this was talking about Pan-Africanism and things of that nature. It is also the belief that Blacks all over the world are the children of Israel. So that's why we were highlighting Marcus Garvey in this particular video. So yeah, but the brother did do a lot of good for our people, and the unification or the attempted unification that he sought after was very valiant. I hate to hear that he died so young, 50, what did you say, 52? I mean, that's, rather young for even a so-called Black man. But it also speaks volumes of the level of concern we have to be for our health, taking care of ourselves, being mindful of these things, and making sure that we are, most of all, serving the Most High in spirit and in truth, because under those circumstances, we live a good long life and stay healthy. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and rest. Go ahead, Ak, what you got?
Very interesting life of the elder, Honorable Marcus Garvey. It's troubling to know that, and upsetting to know that the FBI infiltrated his organization that he had going on with the boats. I remember reading about that, and it was his vision to have an established relationship with the brothers and sisters over there in Kebulon.
Yeah.
And part of that Black Star freight system that he had was going to be geared towards trips going back and forth across the transatlantic. They sabotaged that. You know what I mean? Destroyed his engines. A brother helped them do it too. It's just upsetting. We continue to be our own worst enemies. I think about what could have been if that had been set up, and how our lives growing up could have been much different. We could have been connected to a culture rather than, helping, rather than them giving us a culture of just saying that we're slaves, and then all of these negative attributes that they place on us. I like had we had some culture and understood of, a more understanding of who we were, or who we are rather, could all turn around for us. But all things in the Most High's timing. So we continue to wait patiently for his regathering of his people. And you're right, this is not a Pan-African movement. Right. This is a movement of the Most High. This is the Most High's awakening, and he causes it to be. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Yes, indeed. All praises to the Abba once again. And we're certainly thankful for the brother, the elder Marcus Garvey. May he rest in power. Most High willing, we'll see the brother again. And the elder, Slaki, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we'll see the elder again. And well, for the first time, I should say. And, we'll get to.
And not to cut you off, you and I, we have YouTube, we have Google, we have all of these different search engines that we can look up different facts about, who we are. The brother, he didn't have that. He had books, you know what I mean? And so it was something inside him that wanted to reconnect with his people. I'll have to believe that the Most High put that in him.
Indeed. Yeah, definitely. There's definitely some information there, or not information, but some desire there to seek the information, to understand, what's really going on. How is it that these things happen? And he also had a sense of, he wasn't put off by being black. They try to make us kind of feel like being black is something wrong with it. And, I've even had a lady tell me there's nothing wrong with black people. Like, I didn't know that.
Right. You're okay. You're right. You're okay. Right.
There's nothing wrong with black people.
Wow.
Well, thank you, man. I'm glad you told me that, because otherwise it would have been information. Yeah, information been lost to me. But it is what it is. But again, praises to the Abba. We certainly do appreciate all that we've been given, and in this particular situation as well. We're gonna go ahead and close out here for this particular video. And once again, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem to the Most High. We do these things again for our people. Romans chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Ha'abba, to the Father, for Israel, is that they might be saved. That's why we want to see our people saved. How do we get saved? How do we do it? We keep the belief in the Messiah, Hamashiach, and the commandments. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. At the end of the day, when it is all said and done, we will be judged on whether we have feared the Most High and kept his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so very important, and I cannot reiterate enough how detrimental it is for us to, for in the conclusion of the whole matter, fear the Most High and keep his commandments. Why? Because this is the whole duty of man. I am your Akazaki Yahu, joined by my most esteemed Kenaniah, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bashem, Yahushua, Mashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel, who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say shalom, wa baruchim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day when the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant, back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone, with our enemies, our adversaries, and all those who hate us under our feet. Until that day come, shalom, family.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Picard.
All praises to the